Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kieran from a Red Devil Weekly. We're back once again for the second time to preview United against Liverpool. Will it happen this time? Will it go ahead this time? Who knows? There's potential for protests once again. So this game might not go ahead, but I think it's got more chance than last time, especially with the increased police presence. But before we get into any of that, please do hit that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Thank you so much for all the recent support. Really do appreciate it. And also, if you're watching the video, get your thoughts in the comment section down below. Really do enjoy interacting with you guys after the stream is finished. And if you're watching it on the replay, please do leave your thoughts in the comment section down below, your predictions and anything else. Let us know your thoughts ahead of this game. And it's a massive game. It's a huge opportunity. It's probably our last big Premier League fixture of the season. This is the one that means something. I think all the other ones kind of don't mean anything. We've already booked our place in top four. This means something because A, games against Liverpool always mean something. And B, we've got the opportunity to really put the final nail in the coffin of Liverpool's top four hopes. That's the biggest thing for me. That's the biggest thing. We spoke about it on the preview I did for last week's Liverpool game that was supposed to go ahead. That this is a massive opportunity for us. If we win this game, we can finally condemn them to Europa League football pretty well mathematically. I know they might, in some sort of circumstance, they'll be able to get it because Chelsea are currently losing. I think if Chelsea win their game and then we beat Liverpool, then I think it's done. But Chelsea are losing right now, I think, unless you guys can tell me they're not. I don't know. I think the latest score I saw was that Chelsea are 1-0 down to Arsenal, which I couldn't believe anyway. But the fact, they're 1-0 down, a team in that sort of form, I mean, you got to say fair play to Arteta, but obviously it was only half-time when it was 1-0, so who knows. But this is why it's a big game, because we've got the opportunity to finish off their Champions League hopes and condemn a side which, yes, has been hampered by injuries. Yes, has been a little bit unfortunate, but a side that last season was dubbed one of the greatest Premier League sides of all time. We've got the opportunity to condemn them to Europa League football. It's magical, absolutely magical. And also, we don't have to worry about top four ourselves either. But we played the weekend team against Leicester. Loads of Liverpool fans on the timeline were getting salty, saying that we should be deducted points. Even Trevor Sinclair, who's not even a Liverpool fan, he's a Man City fan, was getting all uppity about it, saying we needed a 6-point deduction. I saw Richard Keys as well, Richard Keys and Andy Gray, saying that we kind of destroyed the top four race, we tampered with it. It's all a load of nonsense. It's an absolute load of nonsense. I'm sorry, it is. The idea that you're not allowed to use whoever you want in your squad, I understand if we had a week between each game. I understand that would be a bit fishy, but we're playing 3 games in 7 days, 4 games in 7 days even. Like, how can you not have any sort of sympathy for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer playing that team? We had to play that team. If we played the same strong team for all those 3 games, they would have been battered. They would have all been injured. I mean, imagine Marcus Rashford, a player who has been playing with an injury since about, February, March time, who's needed surgery and is going to get that surgery after the Euros. Can you imagine him playing in these 3 games back to back to back with the intensity that he plays at as well? It's a recipe for disaster. And then you've got players like Pogba, Bruno Fernandes, Cavani as well. Like, we don't need to lose these guys. We've already lost Harry Maguire through injury to Aston Villa. And it's looking like that it's going to be it's going to be a race to get fit for that Europa League final. It really is, because the fact he's on crutches and in a boot, only a few weeks out from that final, isn't a good sign in my books. It's not a great sign. Adam, by the way, thanks for joining, Adam. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. He also says, TalkSport saying we should get a deduction for using our squad yesterday. Exactly. This is what I'm saying. People like Trevor Sinclair, people that get paid to have an opinion. Obviously, they were footballers in the past. You can't begrudge that. And they have more understanding of how to play the game and what it's like to play the game than I ever will, because I'm never going to reach that level. But some of the opinions on there, I'm sorry. It's mental. Absolutely mental. The idea that we should get a 6 points deduction is something which I don't think's actually happened before, where a team's got a 6-point deduction for fielding a weakened team. Teams have been fined. Teams have had some sort of action, but a 6-point deduction at this stage of the season, it's just nonsense, absolute nonsense. But are you surprised it's coming from Man City fans and Liverpool fans mostly? Man City fans and Liverpool fans are the ones that are coming out with these remarks. So that tells you all you need to know, really. If we had played a weakened team against Liverpool, do you think anyone would have cared? Do you think the Leicester fans or Chelsea fans or West Ham fans would have given us any stick for it? Probably not. But it's because Liverpool are the ones that are, not benefiting from this. Liverpool are the ones that are missing out with this. That they're getting all up to saying we need to be deducted points, saying it's disingenuous, mate. It's an absolute load of rubbish. Tenzin, thanks for joining as well. Sal Maguire. Yeah, obviously Maguire's injured, but I tell you what, I don't know if you saw that graphic about the stats that he's put up this season. I think he's been underrated. I really do think Harry Maguire's been underrated this season. To play as many games he had in a row as well for Manchester United, it's underrated. It's massively underrated. So I think you can't understand some people don't think he's the best defender, and obviously his price tag is a massive reason for that. I think if he didn't have that massive price tag, there's no way that people will be slaying as much as they do. But I still think that, this season overall he hasn't actually been bad. I think there's a lot of people that have this kind of, social media, the meme culture and stuff. And yes, he's made mistakes. He's made shocking mistakes this season. I remember the Spurs game where he was basically moving our players out of the way for Spurs to score. And, he has had those moments this season. But at the same time, actually recently, you can't deny that he's been consistently probably not just one of our best defenders, but one of our best players recently. So I think Maguire overall has been very, very decent for us. Obviously, he's still not an £8 million defender, and to be honest with you, it's going to be very difficult to ever kind of get to that price tag unless maybe we start winning major trophies under him. But I think actually this season he's improved from last season, certainly. Tenzin thinks he's overrated. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's overrated. I think there's so many people who kind of give him stick and stuff and, say he's terrible, when actually most of those people don't actually watch Manchester United. Most of those people are rival fans who kind of see the game from an outsider perspective where they kind of maybe dip in and out and see highlights. But actually in the whole game, if you watch a whole 9 minutes, especially recently with Harry Maguire in the team, he actually looks pretty solid, I genuinely believe that. Adam says, El Matador going to be the best. I hope so. Listen, obviously, this game is massive for Liverpool. It's much more important for Liverpool than it is for us. Obviously, it's massive for us still because, as I said at the start, we've got the opportunity to condemn them to Europa League football. But it's massive for Liverpool as well because if they don't win this game, even if they get a point, it won't be enough. It won't be enough, trust me. Even if realistically, they're probably already out of it now. They're probably already out of the race now. If you're looking at the Premier League standings, they're 7 points off, even with Chelsea losing. Even if Chelsea lose this game, Chelsea have got 2 games to go. Liverpool have 4 games to go, 3 games after our game. Realistically, if they don't get a win, there's no chance they're going to be able to catch them. So it's a massive game for Liverpool. It's a massive, massive game, especially if Chelsea lose. And I'm not sure what the score is, so you guys will have to update me on that, whether Chelsea is still losing or not. But if Chelsea do lose, it's a massive game for Liverpool tomorrow. It's huge. RJ, thanks for joining, RJ. Hope you're doing well. He says, imagine we knock out Liverpool from the Champions League. Exactly what we've been saying. This is a huge opportunity for us to do that. I can't think of many opportunities in the last kind of, decade where we basically have Liverpool's Champions League hopes in our hands. We have their hopes in our hands. If we let them come to Old Trafford and win, and then they go on to somehow miraculously get Champions League, we have to take the blame for that. If we let them come to Old Trafford and beat us, and all of a sudden they get Champions League, then we have to take the blame. We have to take the blame for it. But it's massive. It's absolutely massive. But obviously Liverpool are going to come with a huge purpose and a huge point to prove because realistically, they know this is the do or die game. It's now or never for them. If they lose this game, it's over. They may as well not show up for the rest of the Premier League. They may as well not show up for the next 3 games. It's done. But at the end of the day, we're going to put out a decent side. I think we're going to play a lot better than we did against Leicester. That Leicester game, it was just a game where you just kind of easily forget. It's just a game which just passes you by, especially when you've got this sort of Liverpool game on the horizon as well. No worries, RJ. Thanks for joining, mate. Appreciate it. As I said, make sure to check out his channel and also make sure to check out Let's Talk Premier League as well. Me and RJ with the rest of the gang usually chat Man United, do the Man United show on there, and also just some other football content, general Premier League content. The name's on the title, Let's Talk Premier League, of course. So make sure to check out those guys over there as well. Adam says, we need to win for Sancho. Liverpool are the biggest threats for Sancho. I've heard that they've obviously lowered their asking price, and To be fair, I look at Liverpool's team and I think if they really do rate Mohamed Salah, which if they don't rate Mohamed Salah, then I think that's just absolutely mental. But I don't see where Sancho fits into that starting 11, especially when you've got Mo Salah on that right-hand side. I don't see where Sancho fits in. Unless you're going to move, Salah to striker and then put Sancho on the right wing, I don't see where Sancho fits in. Whereas in our team, there's a massive gap on that right-hand side. Yes, Greenwood's been filling it, and to be fair, he's not done too badly there. Sancho is the perfect fit for us. He's the perfect fit for us. And I genuinely believe we will get Sancho in the end. The asking price reportedly has gone down to £78 million. That's well within our budget. We spent a lot more on players. And I think we can get Sancho. I really, really do. So yeah, but obviously that's for the transfer. That's for the transfer window. Obviously that's going to be opening not too far away, actually. Obviously, the season ends, in about 2 or 3 weeks' time. So that transfer window's coming. It's coming. And I'm not going to lie to you, especially with all the Glazer protests, especially with everything that's going on surrounding the club. I actually think it could be a bumper transfer window just because they know their stock is at an all-time low right now. And they might try and get us back on side. And listen, I don't think we should fall for it. We shouldn't fall for it. But at the same time, I'm just saying, they could potentially look at spending a lot in this summer transfer window. But who knows? Big Rom, big up to you, man. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing good, Big Rom. Thanks for tuning in, mate. Appreciate it. He says, Sancho should replace Rashford. He's the player that hasn't been cutting it. To be fair, yeah, I think, especially recently, Rashford's been a little bit poor. He's put up some decent numbers. I'm not going to lie to you. He's put up some decent numbers this season. And if you look at his stats, obviously Gary Neville put him in his Premier League team of the season. Debate that if you will. But I think Sancho coming into that team is going to be a bit of a step up. But you've got to remember, Greenwood, Sancho, Martial, Rashford, they're all still in their early 20s. So, and Greenwood's even younger. He's still only 19. So, it's exciting times. It really is exciting times. I don't think we're going to sell Rashford, especially because, Ollie, Rashford's one of Ollie's favourites. So I don't think Ollie's going to look to get rid of Rashford anytime soon. So I think probably Ollie, if he was to bring in Sancho, will probably replace a Mason Greenwood on that right-hand side. And then, obviously, Cavani signed the new deal. He'll probably play through the middle as a number 9. Greenwood being the backup. But then, obviously, you've got the problem of, where do you fit Martial into that team? But that's obviously a conundrum for Solskjaer to sort out. Owen, thanks for joining as well. Appreciate it. He says, Sancho should replace Rashford. He's the player that hasn't been cutting it. All right, so there you go. Great minds think alike. Great minds think alike there. Either that or Owen, you just exposed yourself as a different account. Big Rom says Rashford has been poor for months. It amazes me how people don't speak on it, all because he's from the academy. Martial's overall game is better, yet because he doesn't get goals and assists, people think he's bad. Yeah, I mean, I think obviously Martial this season, he's had injuries as well. You've got to take that into consideration. He has been injured. I think he had a boot on his leg as well at some point. So he's had some pretty bad injuries this season, which has obviously hampered him. People have obviously levelled the criticism of Martial that he hasn't been consistent. When he's got those chances, he's had some big chances in games where he's missed. But equally, Rashford's had that as well. And there's no doubt that both players haven't been as consistent as they'd hope. I think Rashford has just played more of the season, and he has taken big chances in big moments, to be fair to Rashford. Obviously the goal against PSG, goals in the Europa League. So he has taken big opportunities. But there is no doubt that, I think it's a little bit unfair to say Martial's been absolutely terrible, but I think we've seen him play a little bit better. We've seen him play better than we have this. I think his consistency this season maybe hasn't been as good, but at the same time, we have seen Martial play better. I mean, the end of last season, Martial was unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. So, end of the day, I'm hoping he can get back to that sort of goal-scoring form. Hopefully his injuries heal, and we know how good Martial can be. We've seen how good Martial can be. So if we can keep him fit, it's massive. It's massive for us. Okay, fair enough. But thanks for joining anyway. Appreciate it. Like I said, it's not going to be that long of a preview because I decided I'm just going to go live for a little bit. I've going to be, as I said before, I've got a few assignments and stuff like that I'm working on, so that's why I'm only really doing these kind of half an hour streams. Usually I'll go live for an hour, but this time I'm only doing about half an hour, which means I don't have to waffle as much. But I will, get people on if people do want to come on for a bit. Big Rom says, Rashford has moments in games where he plays poor in most of them. Martial plays good overall in games, but doesn't have the end product. Yeah, I mean, listen, Rashford is definitely a moments player. There's no doubt about it. Rashford is massively a moments player. I think in the end of the day, we are moments FC overall. I think every player we've got plays in moments. Bruno Fernandes is the big example of that. He's someone who might not do much during a game, but just creates that one moment of quality and creates a chance or scores a goal. And at the end of the day, I'm not complaining too much about that, because in the end of the day, if we win football matches because of it, I don't mind, honestly. If we could have a big moment every single game and we won the league, I wouldn't care less. But at the same time, you do want your players to be playing consistently well throughout the 90 minutes, because that maximises the chance of a big moment coming. And I agree that I think Martial is more skillful than Rashford, I reckon. But I think overall this season, and probably injuries comes into play with it as well, I think Rashford's had obviously a bigger impact in terms of goals and assists and actually getting us goals to win games. But at the same time, it's difficult. It's a difficult comparison. I think you could only really do a fair comparison between the two if they played the exact same number of minutes and the exact same number of games. So it's difficult to do a fair test on that one, really. Owen says, Arsenal beating the unbeatable Chelsea. So much for everyone saying they are the second best team in the country. Yeah. I'm so surprised. I'm so surprised that Arsenal have gone to Stamford Bridge and done that. I mean, it's a massive win for Liverpool. It's a massive incentive for Liverpool, because if Chelsea had won that game, even if they'd beaten us at Old Trafford tomorrow, I wouldn't have given them a hope anyway. 3 games to make up 7 points. I don't think that's going to happen. So it's still a big ask, 4 games to make up 7 points. But with Chelsea losing, if they come to Old Trafford and beat us, they are right back in this title race. Not title race. They wish it was a title race. Top 4 race. 4 points from their last 3 games. They could do it. It's going to be a long shot anyway, but they could do it. It's more doable than obviously 7 points from their last 3. Dazza, thanks for joining, appreciate it. Says, play the first team this time and let's bounce back. Exactly, we need to bounce back, and it's a big game anyway. We have to play our strongest 11, and we rested our team against Leicester. I don't think any of those guys are going to make it into the first team for the game against Liverpool. Potentially Greenwood, to be fair. Greenwood could make it in, but other than that, I think everyone else is going to... there's going to be another 10 changes, I reckon. I reckon there's going to be another 10 changes. But you know what? I'll put a link in the live chat, so anyone who wants to join in can join in. Adam, I will get you on. So as I say, if you want to join in, please do hit that link and come on and have your say, and we'll talk it out for the next 15, 20 minutes or so. As I said, in this kind of period, I'm not doing the sort of longer streams that I'd usually do. So if you come on and you might not, get as much to say as you usually would on the channel, I do apologise. It's just that I'm not doing the longer streams as I usually do. But hopefully, after this season is over, after the exam season, everything is over, transfer shows and all that good stuff, we can get on that, and we can we can just do what we do best, really, here on Red Devil Weekly. But we'll add you guys in. We've got Adam. I haven't had you on for a while, Adam, and obviously Dazza as well coming back. Thanks for you guys for tuning in and joining the live stream. Appreciate it. We'll start with you, Adam. As I said, I haven't had you on in a while, so welcome back to the channel. Welcome onto the channel. Going into this Liverpool game, are you nervous at all? Do you think that we could suffer our second defeat in a row at Old Trafford?
Well, hopefully not, but you never know with this team. But honestly, I don't want to say it just because it might come back to bite me. But when I look at Liverpool, because Salah and Mane, Salah's, he's been alright this season. Mane, he's not really been that good this season for his usual seasons. Liverpool, they don't scare me for some reason. There's not one player where I'm like, if he gets the ball, I get scared. Also, about that point, I saw some Liverpool fans yesterday saying United should be deducted points because they're trying to make Liverpool miss out on top 4. We're not making you miss out on top 4. It's Liverpool themselves that are making them miss out on top 4 because they've been shit this season.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's like, do people not realise we have like 4 games in 7 days, something crazy like that? So if you want someone to blame the Premier League for making us have this ridiculous schedule. We had to make changes. And do you know what you said about the Greenwood? Maybe.
Yeah.
You do realise that it's going to be Bayer Tonzebe starting with Lindelof as well because Maguire's out.
Yeah, I think you'll go back to buying Lindelof. To be honest, obviously
Maguire's out
Maguire's
for the
out injured.
season. I'm saying it now. Maguire's injury, people are now going to realise how important Maguire is now that he's injured.
Definitely.
This is going to be a hot take, but I really want to win. Just so get. I know what you said that Liverpool, they might. Where would Sancho fit in? But if you look at the struggles of Mane this season, like I said, they might be like, fine, we'll just sell Mane, get Sancho. And I want Sancho. He's my number one guy I want. Because if we get him, we get taken to a different level, in my opinion. You know, I'm happy we got Cavani. I think Kabak's injured for them, apparently. So, hey, Cavani is going to be a problem for Liverpool. He is going to run rings around their defence. With Martial, I do like Martial. Like, he's one of my favourite players. But after seeing Cavani, I feel like we have to stop making excuses for Martial as well. Because you look at Cavani, he's like, what, 34, 35 now? And we look at the way he's just playing, and you're just there like, why can't Martial do that? You know, Cavani's just constantly running, and he's just.
So you think the problem with Martial is a lack of work rate?
Yeah, basically. Why do people want Rashford gone so quick? Like, bro, they do realise he has been playing with an injury this season. I don't know if you know, but that's the thing that I'm just sad that this isn't away, because if it was away, then I'd be saying we're going to win. But
yeah, with our away record, it's in the bag. Just want to say, by the way, Connor says big updates from the US protest coming later today. Of course, there's a Glazers protest in the US as well, so big up them. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in, by the way, Connor. Appreciate it. Make sure you check out Yank Talking About great stuff over there.
I just have a question for you.
Yeah,
Had Teddy Mendy been available, like if he was fit, because that's the reason he came back to United, because he's injured. Had Mendy been fit, do you think he would have been the one starting with Leicester, not Eric Bailly?
No.
Go on, Daz. Why not?
A player as young as him, who doesn't have much Premier League experience, to play him in a game like that against the top position in Leicester. Hang on. Let me finish my point. To play him against a team as good as Leicester City is dropping him straight into the deep end, and I don't agree with managers who do that. They shouldn't drop young players straight into the deep end. We made the risk by playing Anthony Elanga, right? That was his first game. He dropped him straight into the deep end, playing him against a quality Leicester side. That for me was a mistake. So I don't like managers who do that.
Was he injured or something?
You've got to get them building up their momentum and their confidence before you do that. To do it straight away is just I don't agree with that.
A few comments, by the way. Rich, thanks for joining. Appreciate it, mate. Hope you're doing well. Probably doing well, Rich. Hope you're doing good. Make sure to check out Rich's channel as well. Great stuff over there. And congratulations on hitting 900 subscribers as well, Rich. Congratulations. Fully deserved. And pleasure to be part of the journey as well.
I take my comment back about it, saying it's a must win. But what I will say is that I just don't want to lose to Liverpool. Like,
of course, yeah, of course.
Who wants to lose to Liverpool? Be honest, no one does.
Well, no one wants to lose full stop, to be honest. Any game. I would. But, Adam, I want you to address Big Rom's comment. He says he disagrees with you. He says Cavani and Martial both have different games. Cavani has to make runs into the box with movement because he can't come deep to link play, whereas Martial can do both. Whereas Martial can. Both are different number 9. Sorry, I nearly read that wrong, Big Rom. Apologies. What are your thoughts on that then, Adam?
You could say that, but then you also have to realise that Martial is lazy as well. Like, at least Cavani...
but he's not a very... I can see why he's saying it. He's not a very mobile striker. Neither really is Edinson Cavani. He's just having the form of his life at the minute. You know, you get one goal and it gives you a boost going into the next games and stuff. And Martial does. Martial's obviously had, he's been pushed back with injuries and stuff in the past, so that might have been what's caused it. When Luke Shaw picked up that. Hang on, wait. When Luke Shaw picked up that awful injury against Ajax, I believe it was, he broke his ankle. Since then, right, he came back, didn't have the best of seasons first season, but the next season he was superb, and he's been brilliant ever since then. Certainly shook Mourinho up. Martial's just having a bad time minute with injuries, etc., and he's obviously low on confidence. I don't think it's anything to do with the fact that I don't think it's got anything as such to do with work rate. I can see why you're saying that. That might be a twist, but personally, I think it's all on confidence. He's very low on confidence. He needs to get some goals. He needs to get some goals, get some more game time, get some goals that will give him a bit of a boost, and then he might be back to his best. I mean, Cavani, when he first came to United, right, we all thought he was going to be a slow donkey. And, he got that first goal. Since he got the first goal, gave him a boost in confidence. And then since then, he's been flying. So, it depends how you look at it, really. I don't disagree at all. I don't disagree with the fact that, about work rate. I don't disagree with it, but I don't think it's necessarily mostly to do with that. I don't think it's got much to do with it. I think it's mostly on confidence. That's just my point, but everyone has different points of views.
Just before we get back to you, Adam, Big Rom's response to you says Martial being lazy is the biggest myth going. Martial likes the ball to feet
I don't
and
think he's lazy. I just
His
think
game is not running the channels
and
running in behind, and never will be. Tony is an elite 9. Sorry, I read that as Tiny.
Elite.
But yeah.
That's
what we have seen Martial play at that level. There's no doubt about it, in my opinion.
He's played before. He's played well before, but this season he's very, very low on confidence.
I would say
as soon as he gets his confidence back up, he'll be flying.
At the end of last season, that was probably the best I've seen Martial play in terms of being clinical. He was so good in the last part of last season.
Yeah.
So we've seen that sort of thing from him.
All I'm going to say is we're going back to yesterday's game, being Leicester. It looks like we need another position, a backup right back, because Brandon Williams is shocking. Like,
he was garbage, to be honest.
Cannot pass to save his life.
We'll put it this way: Shaw and Wan-Bissaka were well ahead of.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. There's no doubt about that. Because realistically, I saw it in the Roma game as well.
He's back.
I saw it in the Roma game. Exactly. Well, I was just about to say, obviously, transferred Tom. We've got Adam, Dazza, and transferred Tom on. 3 guests, which is more than usual. But Tom, it's always a pleasure to have you on. Always a pleasure. And I've just asked these guys about their thoughts. Actually, I haven't asked Dazza yet, but I'll come back to Dazza in a second. But in terms of your thoughts going into this game, the way I see it personally is a massive opportunity to condemn Liverpool to the Europa League if they haven't already. To be fair, I think Chelsea are still losing, so they've still got a chance. But
yeah, they are still losing.
What are your thoughts going into this game?
I've just turned on to their game. It's 80th minute for me.
All right, so they're looking like they're at least going to get a point. Arsenal at least going to get a point.
By
anyway.
the way, Tom,
but
when did you know what I'm going to say? When did you start doing pig commentary?
Oh, don't start like that. No, it's something that doesn't share.
Right.
Oh wait,
So,
guys.
right, I'll explain quickly. Right,
Go on.
There was, I was watching one of the Sidemen React videos, right?
Right.
And
that's a great start to the story.
They were reacting to pig racing for some daft reason. They don't have to react to some stupid things, right? And the video that they were watching the pig racing on, the commentator sounded like Tom. He sounded exactly like it sounded exactly like Tom. Literally, it absolutely did. Sounded exactly like.
How do you know it wasn't him? How do you know it wasn't him?
Well, I didn't know if it was him or not, so I sent him a message saying, "Is this you?" I'll play it. I'll play it for about 5 seconds.
Oh, not this! No, not this again.
I don't want you to get copyrighted, obviously.
No, it's fine. No, we won't. I mean,
ever week of the League of Pigs. All the pigs will be wanting to win the maiden race, which is moments away from starting. So let's see what happens.
It does sound like Tom, doesn't it?
a little bit.
A little bit.
It sounds like
By the way,
oh my God!
Congrats to Antonio Valencia for a great career.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, fair play. Antonio Valencia retired today.
One of the most underrated players, actually.
He did a good job. He's a good servant. By the way, Big Rom says Cavani only been firing recently. His good run at this time started once Pogba shifted to the left and was given more freedom to attack. Allow Martial to play with a creative player, and he will thrive. I see what you know. What I see the argument. I do see it, and I want to say thank you. Thomas as well. Rashford is trash. He goes straight for that. He goes to Rashford is trash.
So you mean Trashford then?
Okay, well, since there's a Rashford agenda, peace out.
Listen. Obviously, in the end of the day, you know, everyone's got entitled to their opinion. But I think to be fair, with the people we've got on the chat and of what I know about their opinions on Rashford, I think he's probably not in the minority. But Tom, I'll get back to you. What are your thoughts going into this game? Are you nervous? Do you reckon that we'll get the job done, or do you think that Liverpool might, condemn us to our second defeat at Old Trafford in a row?
Second defeat in a row. We've secured second place. I don't really see. Like you go into these games. I think it's just damage limitation. To be honest with you, in terms of injuries, just don't get any injuries. To be honest, I think everybody, if you're going to win a game out of the final two, you probably want to win this one against Liverpool rather than the other game, because it's obviously it's a big rivalry, and obviously, like you said, you can condemn Liverpool to the Europa League, but I don't think they're going to anyway. I think it's been nailed on for a while. Even if Chelsea do lose tonight, I still think Chelsea are going to get that fourth spot, and I think Leicester, Man United and City's where it's obviously the rest of it's going to lie. And two places are already gone anyway. So, but no, I wouldn't necessarily say it's nervousness, because really, on paper, we should turn Liverpool over 3 or 4 at the weekend, really, but at the moment, because against Southampton, defensively, they were shocking. Absolutely shocking. Going forward, they're not going to have that much time in the ball to put a cross in the box. They're not going to have that much time at all. And definitely not with the way Shaw's been playing. Shaw will have Mo Salah straight in his pocket. And Mane's been terrible this season, so you can't really rely on him. And then, who else do they have? They haven't really got any. They haven't got a major creative midfielder. Thiago's been average.
He scores one goal, and then Liverpool fans
he's been average.
Yeah, he's had good games and he's had bad games.
Legit, I'm not even lying. I have a friend who's a Liverpool fan, so now I hate everyone. And Thiago scored a goal. Do you really want to know what he said?
Oh my God.
Thiago's better. Thiago's better than.
Yeah, I've just seen that. What a garbage shot!
Just slipped off her in the end.
Yeah.
Wait, what's happened?
Oh my!
Pulisic just missed.
We just seen one of the biggest powers of the season.
What?
He's tried to hit it. He slipped.
I'll have to check that after.
Yeah, but
it was a good shot.
My friend literally said that after Thiago scored that goal, he said Thiago's better than Prime Paul's goals.
Right, okay then.
Does anyone know where I can get
Did he suffer a blow to the head? Had he suffered a blow to the head, or was on the magic mushrooms?
Because I think I do need to drugs test them out.
Thomas says, very true, Cavani's done so much since Red's been replaced with Pogba. By the way, G's joined. Please join G, Red Devil Studio. Make sure to check out Red Devil Studio if you haven't already. Brilliant stuff over there.
The best United YouTube channel out there.
Quality stuff from all the channels we shout out. Dazza, Red Devil Studio, all these guys. Make sure to check out all their channels if you haven't already. But I'll go around now because, as I said, I can't be live for too much longer. So I just want to ask you how you think the game's going to go. Give us a score prediction. We'll start with you, Dazza. We'll start with you. What's your score prediction?
If we play the first team, we stand a better chance, really. Because against Leicester, no disrespect, but no one in that second team were good. Transabi was probably one of the only half-decent players. Van der Beek.
Rich, where did you manage to find a save?
None of the subs really made any difference, to be honest with you. Put it this way, I could have done better.
Are we sure about that?
Oh, enjoy. Have fun.
Are we sure about that?
But yeah, it'll be a tough game, to be honest. I think Liverpool always seem to put up a bit of a battle when they play against us, but their record at Old Trafford is brilliant, isn't it? Not.
Well, he just left.
That's us. Well, that was it. So basically, no. I reckon Jurgen Klopp's hacked into the system and removed him. He's basically just removed him from the call there.
Thomas, I need to remove all the YouTubers. 9.
The accent is just it's quality. Thomas says, "What my plans after uni?" Well, just quickly, my plans after uni. I've got no idea. That's to answer your question. I've got no idea really. Just gonna try everything, mate. I'll see what comes really. But yeah, that's. I'm gonna be honest. I'll get
centre in 10 years, so you at least haven't bashing.
Nah, you'll do better than that. You're a smart lad. You're a smart lad. You'll do better than that. Trust me. But anyway, I'll come to you, Tom, next.
My test results say otherwise.
Mate, you're still young. You're still a young lad. You'll get there. You'll get there. But Tom, what are your score prediction then? How do you see the game going?
To be honest with you, I think it should. Like, you look at these games, and on paper, you think it's going to be an amazing game, and in the end of it, when the game rolls around, it turns out to be absolute crap. So, to be honest, it won't be the high-scoring game or anything like that. It'll probably be something just basic, like a 1-1 or what. I'm not going for a draw. I think Man United will win like 2-1 or something, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was just a 1 goal in the game or something, because I just don't think Liverpool are gonna just blow out there and try and do everything.
I'm gonna test to see if what Rich says true. Kieran, Daniel James is shit.
I was so close then. I was so close, but you're not doing that. Listen, it's not a dictatorship. It's a democracy. Everyone's opinions matters. And Tom's gone now. Mate, that looks so suspect. The
baby's hacked into the systems.
Tom, you left in the worst possible over there. But thanks for joining, Tom. Anyway, appreciate it. I honestly, I didn't kick him. I didn't. That makes it look so bad.
Listen,
now. Just as
it's not true, because I would have been gone as soon as I joined.
Daz as well says, don't worry, got disconnected, Daz, don't worry. Says, I was saying second team wasn't good enough, and if we play the first team against Liverpool, who have been poor defensively all season, we will torture them. Yeah, I agree. If we play the first team, we should get the job done, plain and simple. But yeah, obviously Tom had to go there, but thanks for joining, Tom. If you're still watching, appreciate it, mate, appreciate it. I can't believe how perfect timing that was. I can't believe how perfect timing. But Adam, you've got the final say. What's your score prediction, mate? How do you see it going?
Can I be honest? Well, obviously I have to be honest. I think you're a stupid idiot. Right. Honestly, I'm going 2-1. I think Trent's dad Rashford's going to destroy him again.
Yeah.
And then I think Fernandes, he gets a goal, not from the penalty spot. Oh, come on, we have to admit, Rashford is Trent's dad. Trent has to bow down to Rashford because he's like,
He'll
Dad,
never live down what he did to him at Old Trafford in 2017-18. He'll never live that down. He'll never live that down.
But yeah.
Yeah, go on.
To be fair though, it's like most Liverpool players have Man United's dads. I don't mean that literally, because but we always seem to like Salah. He's Shaw's son. Mane's Wan-Bissaka's son. Fernandes doesn't really have a son because he can't really pocket anyone. But I think Bruno is going to strike again. The guy who's better than KDB. City fans, all 12 of them are going to attack me.
Mate, well, they're not going to attack you now. They're all at the ground. They're all at the ground, mate. All 12 of them.
Did you actually see that video though when they showed the
saw
City
that.
fans at the ground and there was only like
It was carnage, mate. I reckon the stewards and stuff are still cleaning up as we speak. It was that bad. It was that over the top
If
celebrating.
we thought the United protest was bad, you should have seen the City one.
It was that crazy.
Manchester was shaking their boots. But honestly, I just feel like Trent, I'm just saying it now, most overrated player ever. I mean, oh my God, do Liverpool fans overrate him. Best right back in the world, he's not better than Wan-Bissaka, you mad?
To be fair, even as a United fan, I have to say, going forward, he's probably the best fullback in the league. And
I have hacked into the system and now I'm going to remove Kieran.
I have to say it. Listen, I have to give respect where it's due. When Liverpool won the league last season, he was probably one of the best attacking fullbacks in world football.
Though, let's be honest. Wan-Bissaka in that team would do just as good as Trent did. But
not attacking. Defensively, he'd be
I
better,
honestly
but
think
attacking.
if he improves a little bit attacking wise, it shouldn't even be a debate between him and Trent. Because I already think Wan-Bissaka's clear. Because if you look at it, I saw this TikTok from this girl that probably just supports Liverpool because of Trent, plastic. And she said, when I see defenders try to get past Trent, and it said, good luck. I commented, who the fuck needs luck when you're trying to get past Trent? But my 80-year-old grandma could get past her and she hasn't even played football. I said,
but anyway, obviously we'll see what happens tomorrow. Obviously, it'll probably be a battle between those two if Rashford does start, which I reckon he will. But that'll be interesting to see kind of an old rivalry, an old battle renewed at Old Trafford. But until then, thank you very much for joining me, Adam. Appreciate it. And thank you very much to Dazza and also Adam, and also Tom as well. Thanks to all the panelists for joining. Thanks to everyone who's tuned in the live chat as well. Appreciate your support, Thomas. Appreciate your support.
Come on,
Kieran, you seem like a top guy, mate. Always give a happy, positive vibe. Keep it up, my guy. Cheers, Thomas. Appreciate it. Just trying to, entertain you guys. And
I know how to get you more subscribers. If you don't subscribe to Kieran, you support Liverpool.
Realistically, I should have 60 million subscribers now. Realistically, if everyone was watching. But anyway, thanks for the support, mate. Always appreciate nice messages like that. Just, I'm trying my best. Hopefully you enjoy it, and that's the main thing. If you guys enjoy it, then, that's the main thing. And Dazza, Banter Club gonna win here. Obviously, Arsenal could potentially win at Stamford Bridge, it's looking like. I know that game's in the last few minutes, so it's a big result for Liverpool. But we've got to just crush their hopes. They're going to have a little bit of optimism after this result. We've got to crush it at Old Trafford tomorrow. But until then, thanks for watching. Really do appreciate it. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel as well if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.